Hi everyone and welcome to NFL Projectotron, the prediction site with a difference. It's week 16, everyone is fighting for something, more or less, and we are looking at the NFC South where it is anyone's up for grabs in the division. Classic clash here between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. Falcons took the first one in week 1 of the season and this time they travel to the Superdome to take on New Orleans. Rory, what can you tell us?
Well, you have to say that whoever's going to win this game is probably going to win the NFC South. Now, the Panthers can only stay in this if the Falcons win, and the Panthers have to play the Falcons in week 17.
Yeah.
But if New Orleans takes this, then they have New Orleans. They have a clear shot at getting into the playoffs. All they have to do is win. Destiny's in their hands. It's in their hands right now. You'd have to say that they are the favourites for this game, but the Falcons' offense has been playing really, really well of late, and Julio Jones is coming back for this game, so he is a big difference maker against this really, really poor New Orleans defense. And the way they've been playing at home versus the way they've been playing away this season is just as incredible. We saw the Panthers torch them a few weeks ago, and then they get that win against Chicago. I know Chicago haven't been playing well at home. They're kind of a fire dumpster in a runaway truck kind of team at the moment.
Let's just have a moment to laugh at Chicago.
We'll laugh more about them on the podcast. But
Let's go back to it.
When it comes to throwing to people who are going to be open, I think Matt Ryan, I don't think he's as good a quarterback as Drew Brees, but I think his targets are better. The way they've been playing this season, the Saints, Marcus Colston has been dropping balls. Jimmy Graham's been dropping balls. Sounds great. Kenny Stills has been dropping balls. They've lost Brandon Cooks. When it comes to having a clutch moment in this game, I think you'll get that from the Falcons. I don't think you get it from the Saints. It's going to be a narrow victory, less than a touchdown, high-scoring game in the Superdome. Falcons are going to win.
Well, it's definitely going to be a high-scoring game because both teams are terrible in defense. Now, the Falcons' problem is they haven't got a pass rush, which suits Breeze down to the ground. They're on defense, their secondary, they actually have solid cornerbacks. Des Trufant has really, really stepped up to be a quality corner this year. But who are you going to put him on when, as you say, the Saints have an awful lot of mediocre options to pass the ball to? You're not going to throw him on Josh Hill in the red zone every time. That's not going to happen. So Drew Brees is going to get an awful lot of space, and one thing he's shown throughout his time in New Orleans is that he can spread the ball around. It doesn't matter who he has to throw the ball to. He finds someone, even if it is Josh Hill. Maybe it's going to be Pierre Thomas. Maybe it's going to be Jimmy Graham. Maybe it's going to be Marcus Hall. All he needs is one open guy, and it doesn't matter who that guy is. He'll find him. Now, like you said, there's been a couple of drops, but I think you can rely on these guys in the crunch in New Orleans to come back and score points. Now, the Falcons, we know they can put up points as well. Unfortunately, their offensive line is a little bit weaker than the Saints one. And even though Matt Ryan is in stellar form, he is slinging the ball, basically, especially when Julio Jones is there and he's healthy, he is slinging the ball down to Julio Jones and they can tear up anyone. They're such a good combo. I also think Roddy White is he's looking a little bit more like the Roddy of old. And I think Harry Douglas is looking quality when he's needed, because he's not actually targeted a whole lot. Even Devin Hester was getting in the scoring a couple of weeks ago. They have options as well. I just think that when it comes down to it, the Falcons D isn't going to be able to put the same pressure on Drew Brees that the New Orleans D is going to be able to put onto Matt Ryan, and that is going to be the difference. I definitely think it's going to be high scoring. Both teams are going to put up points and both teams are going to give them away. But I think when it comes down to the crunch, I agree, one touchdown, but I'm going the other way. It's going to go to the Saints. What about Projectotron?
Projectotron thinks this is going to be a kind of a funny game in that the first play of the game, Matt Ryan's going to get sacked in the end zone for a safety, but then he's going to get angry. You don't get Matty Ice angry. He's going to come back and they're going to go for up all the way up the field, 80 yards for a touchdown with Ryan throwing it to Roddy White, as we mentioned. Then the Falcons are going to take an even bigger lead when they're going to march up the field again, same as they did before, and he's going to throw it to Julio Jones, looking fit and falling over in the end zone. Then, after halftime, the Saints are going to get back on their horse, and they're going to, I don't know if Saints have horses, but they're going to go all the way to the end zone again, with Jimmy Graham scoring. Then, there's going to be a pass to Marcus Colston. Boom. The scores are even again. And, all of a sudden, Pierre Thomas is going to come out of nowhere and run for 2 25-yard touchdowns. It's incredible. It's ridiculous.
I love me some Pierre Thomas.
He's going to torch that Falcons D, which their run D has actually been okay this year. It's just been the secondary that's been the real issue.
Yeah.
The Falcons 17, New Orleans Saints 36. Wow.
Okay, so there you have our verdict. We are split on this one. Rory is picking the Falcons just by a touchdown. I'm picking the Saints just by a touchdown, but Projectron is saying that the Saints are going to come back and steamroller the Falcons in the second half to put them in pole position in this absolute disastrous division of an NFC South. That's going to give them a chance to get up and to hopefully, for their sake, take it in week 17. On the subject of week 17, we're going to be looking at another all-division clash next week for our NFL Projectron, and that is the Green Bay Packers as they play host to the Detroit Lions in what could be the deciding fixture of the NFC North and maybe, who knows, NFC in general.
Very exciting.
Thanks very much for joining us. Don't forget to check out our various Premier League festive Projectatrons. We hope you have a very happy holiday season and we look forward to seeing you after it. Thanks very much. Enjoy the football.